I'm Dr. Swarupa Mitra here from Rajiv Gandhi Cancer Hospital and on behalf of Healthyho. Today another new topic. This is about cell phone and our concerns regarding cell phone and cancer. Now we all know since the 1990s the number of cell phone users is on the rise. So it is irrespective of all age groups, the use of cell phone is increasing throughout the world, not only in India, throughout the world. So if we again talk of statistics, about 6.8 billion people who are using cell phones all over the globe. So as the use of cell phone is rising, so is the concern about cancers and the hazards it may have along with it. So let us first understand what cell phones are and how they are working. Only then we will be able to understand if it actually causes cancer or not. Now cell phones, we all know, they work on the principles of some radiations. All cell phones, they have antennas, and these antennas, they receive signals from the cell phone towers and also give out signals. So these signals are actually radiations. Now what are these radiations? These are electromagnetic radiations. Now electromagnetic radiations are of two types. They can be ionizing radiations, they can be non-ionizing radiations. Ionizing radiations, they are the high frequency waves. These are usually the X-rays and the ultraviolet rays, and these are strong radiations which break the DNAs in the cells and may cause cancer. Now what are then the radiations which the cell phones they deal with or they are associated with? So these are radio frequency radiations. So these RF radiations, these are very small or tiny waves radiations. They are low frequency radiations. These radiations are not strong enough to cause any damage to the DNA, and hence they may not cause cancer. So this is simple physics that we need to understand, and we have all studied in our 11th or 12th. Now these radiations, we are talking about the radio frequency radiations which are associated with the cell phone use. Now these radiations are something like the microwaves and the radio FMs. So it is somewhere between these two. So very low frequency. What can these radiations cause? Like you have seen in microwave, they cause heat. You have seen our mobile phones, they become heated. The microwaves, this property of these radiations have been used in our microwaves for us to cook food. So this is all these radiations can do. Now, how does it affect us? Now when the antennas, they are emitting radiations, they are giving out signals, it affects our bodies according to how much time we use, where you use, that is where the cell phone is located, where are the neighboring cell phone towers, and of course the model of the cell phone use, and whether you are using the cell phone with the cell phone near your body, near your ear, or is it something like the hands-free. So everything, all of these, they affect the exposure we receive from the cell phone or the radio frequency radiations. Now if the cell phone is very close to our body, suppose we are hearing it, keeping it near the ear, or keeping it in our pockets, in our trouser pockets, so they are very close to the body and there can be exposure to the radiations. If the cell phone is kept somewhere very far away from the cell phone towers, then the cell phones, they can manipulate it in some way that it becomes stronger, it works stronger to catch those radiations. And if a person who is using a cell phone nearer to the body and a person who is using the hands-free, so there is a difference. A person who has a hands-free definitely has a lower exposure to radiation. So these are very basic facts which we need to understand. Now, how does it affect us? So like I said, these radiations are very safe. They are not affecting us directly to cause cancer or not. But how are we going to believe this? Do we have any evidences or not? We believe facts only when we have proofs, when we have evidences. So there are lots of studies, there are plenty of studies from all across the world from all technologies or all authorities or scientific companies. Now all these studies, all these researchers, till now they have not substantiated the fact that the cell phone use is linked to cancer. No. In fact, there are some studies who have categorically said that the number of cancer patients have been on the rise in 1970, and the cell phone came into use in 1990. So these are very clear-cut facts which say that probably the cell phone is not linked to the rise in cancer. I use probably because there are lots of caveats to these studies. So we have to wait for more studies to actually quantify if the cell phone is linked to cancer. But for all of us who are concerned about the rise in cancer with cell phone use, for them, yes, we need to protect ourselves from exposures. So how do we protect ourselves from these exposures? Use hands-free. This does not mean that use Bluetooth. Bluetooth also uses these radiations or the radio frequency radiations. So use hand-free, and those headphones, they are far safer than using the cell phone separately. Second, keep children away from cell phones. The number of time or number of hours the children spend with cell phones is terribly annoying and very scary. We do not know how these children will be affected in future with the cell phone use. So limit the number of hours the children spend with the cell phones. For ourselves also, we should try to decrease our exposure to the cell phones by, like one I said, using the headphones. Second is using more of texting than talking on phone. We should avoid keeping the phone in our pockets or close to our body. We can keep them away from the body. This is a very common practice to keep the cell phone beneath our pillow when we sleep. This is absolutely not warranted, and it is not at all what we encourage. So keep the cell phones away from your body, away from the pillows when you are sleeping. So these are very tiny and small methods through which you can decrease the exposure of yourself to the cell phone, even without knowing whether the cell phone causes cancer or not. But there are other hazards. It has been seen that there are some neurological deficits, although they are not very clear-cut studies with the use of cell phone. There is some degree of annoyance with the use of cell phone, loss of patience. You have become more impatient because of cell phone. So these are all observations, they are not studies. But one fact is definitely proven fact, a menace which is a hazard which comes along with cell phone, that is the rise in the accidents. So please do not use cell phones while you are driving. This is a proven fact by a number of studies that use of cell phone during driving does cause an accident, and all these accidents are fatal. So use cell phone safe, drive safe, and keep yourself safe. Thank you.